The shortest war in history. In the entire history of warfare, there was a war that lasted less than an hour. It was called the Anglo-Zanzibar War, fought in 1896 between the United Kingdom and Zanzibar. After a political dispute, the British demanded that the Sultan of Zanzibar step down. When he refused, British warships positioned near the harbor opened fire on the palace. The war officially began at 9:02 in the morning. The bombardment destroyed the palace and quickly overwhelmed the Sultan's forces. Just 38 minutes later, the conflict was over. The Sultan fled, the British installed a new ruler, and the war ended. To this day, it holds the record as the shortest war ever recorded in history. The man who survived 2 atomic bombs. There is one man in history who survived not just 1, but 2 atomic bomb explosions. His name was Tsutomu Yamaguchi. On August 6, 1945, he was on a business trip in Hiroshima when the United States dropped the first atomic bomb. Despite being only a few kilometers from the blast, he survived with severe injuries. After recovering enough to travel, he returned to his hometown of Nagasaki. Just 3 days later, on August 9th, a second atomic bomb was dropped there. Amazingly, Yamaguchi survived that explosion as well. He later lived for decades and became a public advocate against nuclear weapons. Japan officially recognized him as a survivor of both atomic bombings. Napoleon was once attacked by rabbits. One of the strangest stories in history involves the famous French leader, Napoleon Bonaparte. After a military victory, Napoleon's chief of staff organized a rabbit hunt to celebrate. Hundreds of rabbits were released, so Napoleon and his men could hunt them. But something unexpected happened. Instead of running away, the rabbits ran toward Napoleon and his soldiers. The organizers had accidentally used domesticated rabbits instead of wild ones. These rabbits were used to being fed by humans, so when they saw Napoleon's group, they rushed forward expecting food. The situation quickly turned chaotic. Napoleon reportedly had to retreat to his carriage to escape the swarm of hungry rabbits. The first computer bug. Today, programmers use the word bug to describe a computer error. But the origin of the term comes from a very literal event. In 1947, engineers working on the Harvard Mark II computer discovered that the machine wasn't functioning properly. The team, which included computer pioneer Grace Hopper, began investigating the problem. Eventually, they found the cause. A moth had become trapped inside one of the machine's relay switches. They removed it and taped it into their logbook with a note that read, "First actual bug found." Although the term bug had existed before, this moment became one of the most famous stories in the history of computing. The war against birds. In 1932, the government of Australia fought a very unusual enemy. The conflict is known as the Emu War. At the time, thousands of large flightless birds called emus were migrating into farming regions and destroying crops. Farmers demanded help, so the government sent soldiers armed with machine guns to reduce the emu population. But the plan didn't go as expected. Emus were fast, unpredictable, and spread out across huge areas. Despite firing thousands of rounds of ammunition, the soldiers struggled to stop them. Eventually, the operation was abandoned. Historians often joke that in this bizarre conflict, the emus won. The man who sold the Eiffel Tower. In 1925, one con artist managed to pull off one of the most unbelievable scams in history. His name was Victor Lustig. Pretending to be a French government official, he invited several scrap metal dealers to a secret meeting. During the meeting, he claimed that the famous Eiffel Tower was too expensive to maintain and would be secretly sold for scrap. One businessman believed the story and paid a huge amount of money for the supposed rights to dismantle the tower. Lustig took the money and quickly fled the country. Amazingly, the scam worked so well that he even attempted to repeat it again. It remains one of the boldest frauds ever recorded. The largest pyramid isn't in Egypt. Most people believe the largest pyramid in the world is in Egypt. But that's actually not true. The largest pyramid on Earth is the Great Pyramid of Cholula, located near the city of Cholula in Mexico. By volume, it's even bigger than the famous Great Pyramid of Giza. What makes this pyramid even more fascinating is that for centuries people didn't realize it was a pyramid at all. Over time, soil and vegetation completely covered it, making it look like a natural hill. When the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, they built a church right on top of it. It wasn't until the 20th century that archaeologists began excavating the site and discovered tunnels and ancient structures inside. For hundreds of years, one of humanity's largest constructions was literally hiding in plain sight.